Yo, what's up, everybody? Marc the franchise here. Welcome back to another episode of In House Convos. Today, I have a living legend coming out of Bakersfield, my homeboy, the one and only B3.
Whatever, I like that living legend.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you,
that.
you got to give flowers where it's due. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course. We've been tapped in for some time via Instagram. I don't know who started following who first. All I know is I went to your profile either after one of us followed, and I just started seeing your musical movement. And dude, I'm inspired.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Inspired,
Now,
of
I
course.
when I had released my album, Mark of the Beast, I went on, I DM'd every podcast that I could find and asked if I can get an interview. Some said yes, some said I wasn't good enough, some said no, but whatever it is, what it is, I'll take what I can get. But I just I searched podcasts near me and all of them came and I had the same message. Hey, I just released an album. I would love to go on your show so that way I can promote it to your fans and my fans, and also vice versa. Your fans will tap into mine and my fans will tap into.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, like that.
Everybody eats.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you reaching out to me because now that you say that makes 100% sense.
yeah, for sure.
100% sense. You know.
And I know I was supposed to be on your show earlier, but I had got sick,
Yeah.
and then and then now we finally make it happen.
Yeah, no, of course, man. That's life, man. Lives, and you got to roll with the punches and deal with it. There's times where even I know how it goes when you have performances and shit, and you feel sick. You're like, you still got to either find a way to get through it or say, hey, I'm sorry, but I can't pull up. It is what it is,
Right.
So being in this industry with you, I understand that completely. There's been a couple times where I wake up and you got the body aches, you got a fever, I don't know, or just some random shit. And it's like, hey, I wish I could pull through and I can't. I'm
Right.
sorry. So I hold nothing against you. I'm just honored that you still wanted to come on. I'm honored you make the drive because I know it's a distance.
Yeah.
So that means everything to me. People giving me their time because I genuinely just like to talk to people and just hear more about their stories, and especially people that inspire me and have their own trials and tribulations, and I see them like never giving up and all that. That inspires me. So
Right.
knowing a little bit of finding more about you, a little bit more about you before we started recording right now, about your son and doing your toy drive and just different battles you're having. Daughter, that's right, daughter. And your toy drive and things that you're doing. It's like it's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. So it's like. That's why I say living legend. You don't stop. You keep doing what you're doing. You're telling me how you got recognition from your own city and
Yeah.
things like that. So, I want to dive into all that with you. I want to get you to kind of like tell your story, and I want you to tell even stories maybe that people haven't heard about you, or people that know you but maybe not know certain things you're dealing with, or battles you're fighting, or awards you got behind the scenes that they don't know about. Like
Yeah.
I want you, whatever you feel like talking about, man. I want you to open up and make it your own, man.
Dude,
So,
I'm an open book, bro. So whatever it is,
yeah, well, let's start from the beginning. Like, why music? I know we talked earlier, and you said your father had a straight line into the movie industry.
right.
So like, what made you go? Nah, I'm gonna hold off on that. And
Well, music, I know. So, I mean, it's a mixture of things. My mom used to sing in the church choir. Her brother used to do drums. Her other brother played the guitar. My aunt Dawn used to sing. That's from my mom's side. And my dad's side, my great grandfather played the guitar and harmonica. You know what I mean? So it's just And then my dad, he used to mess around. He used to rap too. So like, it's kind of in the blood. And then what made me really take it serious or really think like maybe I want to do music. I remember I was a kid. I tell the story a lot. I remember I was a kid and I woke up like super early in the morning and on VH1 they have the Rock Docs movies. And the movie was La Bamba, and I remember watching it, but not like really watching it. So it was like late at night, and I couldn't sleep, so I just turned it on and watched it. And then like I kind of got inspired, but no, I really got inspired by Richie Valence's story. How he was, picking oranges in North California and moved to LA and continued playing music, and then how fast everything happened to him. You know what I mean? And also like I'm Latino. So, back then there weren't really any Latino, artists that I knew of that, was inspiring me, but him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was more inspired by like Biggie Smalls. Biggie was like he's still one of the, I think he's the greatest of all time. And he died way before his time. He was ahead of his time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I just, La Bamba, and then, I was like, okay, cool. So then I started messing around with it, but then I was like, oh no, like I want to play football. So I played football ever since I was like 8 years old, and I played till I was 18. So I played 10 years of football.
Put that work in.
Yeah, I was really good. Like I was really, really good. I was in the gym all the time. I was, working out, and that's kind of why I don't go to the gym now, because I'm so burnt out, dude. I did that shit for 10 years. I can cuss, right? I did that shit for like 10 years, bro. So like, I'm kind of over it, but I know I need to get myself back in the gym. But that's either here or there.
Yeah.
But I remember my junior year going into my sophomore year going to my junior year. I had a math test that I had to go to, and I didn't study. And like fuck, I told one of my friends, that was my friend at the time, like, hey man, like I'm not ready for this test. He's like, me neither. He's like, dude, I live across the street. Like, let's just hop. It was the last period too. He's like, let's just hop the fence. I have 2K. Let's just go play 2K, and then you can leave. And then I was like, oh, for sure. Like, I'd rather take this test when I'm ready. So I went to his house, and we were playing, and then his controller wasn't working. So then he was just like, oh, well, what do you want to do? So I don't know. Like, what do you. He was just like, well, I have a microphone, and beats if you want to just rap. I'm like, well, I'm not a rapper like that. And he's like, well, just have fun, whatever. So then I started freestyling, and it sucked. It was horrible. So then at the end of the day, at the end of, the period, I go, all right, man, delete all that shit. Like, I'm just, don't put it out. Next day, this motherfucker's giving out CDs.
I was just about to say that. Imagine he goes and puts that shit out.
Bro, giving out CDs, bro. When I tell you I got made fun of, bro, I'm telling you, it was bad. I was horrible. I wasn't good at all. So then it got to a point where, okay, what I like to do is when people tell me that I can't do anything, I can't do that. I can't, I like to prove them wrong. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, I guess I gotta really rap. So I was going into my junior year. I'm like, fucking, like, I played football. Then I started working on a mixtape. And I was like, all right, cool, like, and then I put it out the beginning of my senior year. And people were hoping that shit was gonna be garbage. Like, people were like, I'm like, well, they want to buy my shit, so like, fuck it, like, all right, here. So I'm gonna sell them, the CD. Hopefully they think that, oh, this is gonna suck. I can laugh more at it.
Yeah.
So then when they bought it, they were like, oh shit, this is actually good.
It's pretty tight.
You know what I mean? And they were just, after that, it was just like deflated.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, like, so then. Going on my senior year, I'm hitting, some people up, and I'm like, bro, like, I would like to perform at, venue, like, open up for the Pack. I would like to open up for Drew Down. Is there any way we could do, or like, Bakersfield back in like 08, 09, 07, 08, 09, party crews were huge. So these party crews would rent out these spots, and they would throw huge ass parties and have, performers. So I happen to be a good friend of, one that ran a party crew, the Rockstar Party Crew, and we were friends. He was like, dude, any event you want to perform at, my shit, like, I got you. So then my first performance was at Screwy's, and this is during my senior year. Mm-hmm. And it's 18 and over, but me, I'm 17. So I was, he's performing, he come in. So then I had my classmates were like, hey, you get us here, you get us. I'm like, nah, man. Then it was like, man, fuck you. Do you think you're too good enough? You think you're too good, da. And I'm just like, it was a lose-lose situation, bro. I hated my high school experience was horrible, bro. Yeah. I hated it, bro. And I didn't even want to go to that school. The school I really wanted to go to were the kids that I played Pop Warner with. They went to BHS. And those are the kids I knew how to play with. And we were good. We were like fucking solid. Like we were good.
What made you go?
Well, my dad. So our district was Stockdale, But I had begged my dad, like, dude, I don't want to play with these guys. Like, these kids were kids that were dickheads to me at school, and these kids don't know how to play football. Like, I want to win. You know what I mean? But so then it got to a point. I'm like, bro, these guys suck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get mine, which I did. I got all area. I was hometown all star, first team all area, first team all league, first team all state. Like I played in the all-star game. Like you know what I mean? I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get mine, knowing that we're gonna lose. Mm-hmm. And I would hate it because I'm like, bro, I'm tired of fucking losing. But I told my dad, I was like, dude, I want to play with them, BHS, and they ended up winning Valley that year. Damn. And state. I'm like, dude, come on, man, like. But it is what it is. Like, I don't.
What position?
I was D tackle.
Okay.
I was really good, bro. I was fucking explosive.
D line's fun.
Yeah, it was, bro.
I was tackle and DN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, always on the left side.
Fuck yeah. No, I played defense, but then I was also third string quarterback, which I never got to play quarterback because But I was good, and also they'd always have me run scout team running back, and I used to fucking get it, bro. I used to Reggie for real, bro. Reggie Bush was like my favorite player, and I was and yeah, it was fun. But no, he put it out, and then I started doing shows. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I graduated, and I had went to Bakersfield College, which is a JUCO, and I at the beginning I had hurt myself. My ankle and my knee were fucked. I had practice, so I'm sitting there and I was on the team, and I'm sitting there trying to rehab my shit, and I'm like it no longer became fun to me anymore. It wasn't fun. I didn't have fun, and I remember being in a session. We were getting ready to open up for Cube. No, at E40 at the Nile in Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. And I had to ask myself, because my practice was like 30 minutes before, I had to, mm-hmm. I'm like, do I want to just play football, or do I want to stay here and finish this session? I was like, you know what, I don't want to play football anymore. I want to do music. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where, it started. And then, I had my trials and tribulations, and, I went through a lot with this music shit, bro. Mm. I've had, I've been scammed by the best. I've been turned down by a label. I've got my war stories, bro. I got good stories and bad stories, bro. Take your pick.
Damn. I didn't realize you had that much baggage right there, man. Mm-hmm. What I found interesting, going back to the beginning, is how you said Biggie was like your number one. Let's get tie it in after how Biggie said before his time and all that. While you're playing football, going through high school, whatever. Did you ever have Biggie to pump you up?
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Biggie was my more chill back, lay back, relax. When the shit that used to pump me up was Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, bro. Okay. That album, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, where he's up with his cup with the crunchers, that.
They have the gas
that whole album is just bangers. Okay. And then when I didn't want to, because I'm versatile, bro. Because I'm half white, and I thank God I'm half white, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I can listen to rock music, and Linkin Park Hybrid Theory was one of my go-tos as well. Because you know what I mean, it's rock and shit, you know what I mean. And then my dad grew up listening. He was a big West Coast head, so DOC, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Dre, Michelet, NWA. DOC was his favorite, but then he'd switch up and play, he loves Iron Maiden, Van Halen, Poison, Guns N' Roses. So it's I grew up in that culture. I got to listen to everything.
Everything coming.
And then my mom, she would want to listen to Pebbles, and then she'd listen to Tony Braxton, and Sade, and then she would listen to she'd get in the country, Martina McBride, Faith Hill, Dixie Chicks, Garth Brooks. I'm very thankful that my parents, they introduced all this to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Instead of just sticking to one genre. But the one genre, but you know what's cool about it is the one genre, like I can do more than that. You know what I mean? If I really wanted to, but you know, rap is where I feel safer at, and that I'm really good at. And it gets to a point, bro, where it's like for instance, the last time I went to the studio was maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I pumped out a feature and I pumped out a song, and it was just amazing, crazy. I had the guy like, yo, like, okay, you got me. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't mean to do that, but it's just like, if I had more time, you know, because I'm married and, you know, I have a child. If I had more time and I was in the studio every single day, like I used to be, I'd be a fucking problem, bro. I don't know if you've ever heard my music. I hope you have, but like, I don't ever get people telling me I'm horrible, I suck. If anything, if I tell them that I do music, they'll look at me and be like, please, you probably should. But then when they listen to me,
it's a different story.
They're like, oh shit, like that's you? Like, yeah, bro. Like, what the fuck you think that, you know, that I'm a Chicano rapper? Like, I respect them, but I'm very different, bro. I have my own sound. I don't act like I'm anybody. I don't, you know, that's the problem with my city right now is everybody sounds the same. Same YG, same Nipsey, same got it out the mud, I'll shoot your baby mama, fucking I'll fuck your bitch type shit. Like, no, I'm talking about none of that shit, bro.
No, I respect that. And it's so funny that you say all that. Hearing your stories and you telling me, you know, people's reaction when you say you do music, I get the same thing. I get the same looks by people. I get the same apprehensions. I'll jump on different shows and different lineups and things like that. And when people know I'm there, and they don't know who I am, I get overlooked easily. Me and my people, like, you know, we'll be polite to everybody. What's up? Good to see you guys. You know, make our rounds.
Right.
Once we hop off stage, because I do a solo act, but every now and then I'll bring my homeboy up. I call my head of security. He ain't head of security or nothing like that. But I just like fuck with people. Tell them, hey, you want a discount? He'll, you know, protect you. Just say my name. You get half price. Just stupid shit. Just, you know, bring more live. You know, make more entertaining. But I hop off stage, and everybody who didn't expect something walks away like, God damn.
Right.
Every single time. So hearing that you get those looks, it's the same here in Orange County. It's the same exact thing. But down here, we have like a lot of like weirdo rappers and shit where it's a lot of, not even like, I wish it would be more YG and Nipsey. Down here, it's fucking like the drug rap, the mumble rap, the I'm on lean rap. Even the one I can't stand right now, it's a lot of, they're talking over a beat, and it's like
it's offbeat.
And
completely.
It's like, hey, cut that beat off. It sounds like you're just having a conversation.
Right.
There's no delivery, there's no cadence, there's no rhythm, there's nothing, and I can't stand that.
Some people like that shit, and I don't get it. Like Blueface, I don't get it.
Call me a hater, but I can't stand that.
I don't get it. Like Blueface, I don't get it. You know what I mean? And I'm not a hater. You know, it is what it is. You know, but like it's just not my cup of tea. Kind of like how I'm not other people's cup of tea sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's just, you know, it's cool. I don't dislike the guy. You know, it's just I just don't. I don't get it. Like, you know, I don't get it. But hey, people like him, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, should be doing something right. Do something right, or he has the right finances pushing him or something like that. Right. But yeah, but like for me personally, there's a lot of these different like mumble rap artists that are down here. There's a lot of these like young kids all face tatted, and it's like, man, you could play that beat with his lyrics or vice versa, and you guys all sound the same. Like it's to me, I don't want to say garbage because maybe that's all they know, that's all they've been able to practice or been experienced to, like at their younger age. But like just like you, my parents listened to everything. Yeah. Every single thing. My mom had her country phase. My dad had the Art LeBeau show. You know,
I used to love listening to the Art LeBeau. And the only reason why I used to love listening to the Art LeBeau is because he gets some of the funniest fucking dedications, bro.
Yeah, man. I used to love the Baby Precious from High Desert. Right. Yeah, dude. But yeah, so like I was influenced by all of it.
I can't wait for you to get out.
I'm still holding it down.
I'm holding it down. Don't worry right now. Like, it's funny as fuck.
But yeah, so like I was, you know, exposed to all of that. Initially, when it came to music, I wish I could have been like an R&B singer. Because my mom and dad, like, they had that going on a lot when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And, like, the Bobby Brown style, where it's
Right.
kind of rap, kind of sing. Like, I gravitated to that a lot. I was like, dude, I fucking love this music.
Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, man, yeah.
After 7,
Yeah.
Brian McKnight.
And then my mom, you know, she had her phase where she was doing her rock music, just like your parents, you know? Just like Guns N' Roses, like you said, you know? What was another big one? The one that they didn't let us listen to was Metallica for whatever reason at the time. Oh, that's devil worshiping music, and it's like, well, you know, we ain't saints around here neither. So let's let it fly, you know.
Corn is from my city, Bakersfield.
Okay.
And it's funny because I see everybody but Jonathan. You won't see him
In the city.
Yeah, you won't see him. I've tried to reach out to him to talk to him and tell him, hey, I would love to do like a one-on-one interview with you. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm the president of the Bakersfield music right now. I would love to, you know, talk to you about your past and how it used to be back then. You know what I mean? But it's hard to get a hold of them. There's one girl that I used to talk to, and we were cool, and she was cool with them. But she, you know, back then I was a player. She found out I was playing, and after that it was fuck you. And
yeah.
We're not cool anymore. It's cool.
But rightfully so. I get it. You know, it is what it is. At the same time, you know, you got to try to network and make your connections. Yeah. So I don't fault you for that either. Yeah. Because a lot of this shit is, I mean, you know, just like I know, it's a lot of who you know.
Yeah.
Who's willing to kind of like put their stamp on you and all that. And for me, I've been proud to say like 95% of the shit I do is all no cosign. I just figure it out myself. I do my own shit, get on my own shows. I hustle tickets left and right. A lot of the times too, though, like my family, hey, you know, I want to help you hustle less, so throw some money here, grab a couple tickets on me, hand them out as giveaways or freebies. Right. Invite people out, you know, that way they want to come to the next show and they'll start paying for those. You know, so different strategies like.
What I've learned though, not to knock your hustle,
yeah,
is when you give shit out, they don't come. The only reason why they don't come is because they didn't have to pay for anything. Mm-hmm. So they're just like, oh, whatever. Like, it slips their mind. Mm-hmm. If you make them pay for that shit, then they're like, dude, I paid for this. Like, let me at least go. You know, I had to learn that shit the hard way. Because when I did an album with this girl named Valerie, and I put together a show, and I was giving out tickets, and then it got to a point where it was just like nobody was RSVP and nobody was, you know, nothing. I'm like, okay, so now I need to sell tickets. So then now when I sell tickets, they come because they're like, okay, well, I bought this ticket. But I get it, like, you know, you can't, you know, but, you know, it slips their mind. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
I guess it's different if you're putting on a show. I have yet to put on a show, although I want to. But I still don't feel like I'm established enough to have that backing to where it'll be successful. And I know everybody says just start, but it's like in this economy with, you know, the way everything is, to take a financial hit, you know, if it's going to affect my family, I will not do it.
The only reason why I was able to throw a show in Bakersfield was because I'm so tapped in with the higher ups there, mm-hmm. and the who's and who to not talk to and who to talk to and mm-hmm. know. You know what I mean? And that's the only, you know, if I threw a show here, I couldn't throw a show here. Mm-hmm. I don't know nobody. You know what I mean? But in Bakersfield, I know the people worth knowing, mm-hmm. and was able to throw a toy drive together, and it worked out perfectly.
Does Bakersfield feel like it's a lot like more compact, more smaller?
No.
Versus being out here?
Bakersfield's getting bigger, but like, again, there's a sound in Bakersfield and everyone sounds the same, but like, Bakersfield definitely getting bigger. Like we recently got a Dave and Buster's. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a sign business is booming up.
Yeah,
there you go. Hey, anything to boost the economy and stimulate everything. You know what I mean? But yeah, like out here, there's so many people who claim to be people. There's so many people who claim to know somebody. So it's like for me, I navigate cautiously. I maneuver very cautiously. I'm around certain people, and even at that, it's for a limited amount of time.
Yeah. There's
a lot of places I'll get invited to that I won't go, not because I don't want to be a part of these events or certain things, mm-hmm. but it's like if I feel that it's even going to be just a little fake, I say I don't want to be associated with that because I'm trying to make major moves and maneuvers the right way, and it's like if this is going to at any way be a setback or a halt in my momentum, it's like I'm good. And like,
You gotta move different, bro.
Yeah,
And make moves that count.
So like for me, that's why I try to get on these shows so bad where I can hustle tickets. Cause like I said, sometimes tickets get donated. Like I have a handful of people that'll tell me, hey, I can't pull up to this one, but here they'll shoot me some money, donate that ticket on my behalf. So it works out because like I said, the next person, like, hey, my homeboy donated the tickets. I have a free one. Buy one, I'll give you one free. So 2 people now come, and the person got that free one. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna come back to the next one. So now it's like, okay, no more freebies over there. They're paying.
Right.
No more freebies over there. They're paying. So it's like it works. It balances.
Well, when I was in Oklahoma, I had did a show out there, and I was still on my album run, but I was doing Twisters out there too. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, well, let me figure out who's got the poppin' podcast out there, hit them up, and then let me shoot a music video out there, which I did.
Did
and
they ever try to charge you to get on their podcast? Anybody ever try to like scam you and charge you?
Yeah. A lot of people are trying to tell me they want to charge me to be on their podcast, and I was just like, there's only one person that I paid only because she had a following. And she's a sweetheart to this day. I could call her right now, and she doesn't act like she covers UFC and boxing. Her name is Kayla Rivera. She's the one and only Kayla on Instagram.
Shout out.
Kayla, you know. So I hit her $350 at first. I was like, fuck. But then I used to live in Atlanta, so my brother was graduating at Brunel. And I was like, fuck it, I'm already going to be down there for his graduation. Let me schedule. So I paid her $350. We talked a little bit, you know what I mean? I feel like the interview could have went a little better, but it was still good. Mm-hmm. And I paid her, and she showed love. It was good. And she put me on Mega Atlanta radio for a couple of months, and, it was straight. It was good. But as far as, like, other people, like, I charge this, that, and the other. You want to talk? I have promotional packages. I have. It's like, dude, what the fuck, like, Yeah. So then I'll have a podcast. There's this podcast in Bakersfield. Oh shit! I was want to thank God.
Party fella.
Yeah, no. So there's this podcast in Bakersfield. It's not even a podcast. They're called Bars on Wheels.
Okay.
And I really shouldn't be talking about them because it's fuck them, but whatever. So I had hit them up, just like everybody else, and was like, hey, I would love to, be on your podcast. And then they were just like, oh, we don't think you're good enough.
That's fucked.
And then I was like, okay, cool. So then I was like, fuck them. So there's this thing called Bakersfield Music Awards in Bakersfield. So last year I was invited. I got nominated for four subjects, nominees, whatever. Mm-hmm. Album of the Year, Artist of the Year, Single of the Year, Song of the Year. And they were there. And I low-key wanted to, like, press them, like, hey, what's up, So then when the first nominee had got up, and it was Single of the Year, and when I won, I got up and I saw where they were sitting, and I was looking at them, and the biggest fuck you faces they were making at me was fucking incredible, bro. And I was like, whatever, like, I'm not good enough, but here I am, a BMA winner. Mm-hmm. So fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it. So when they said that I wasn't good enough, I'm like, okay, cool, And then there's a couple of people that used to be, well, actually, there's only one person I used to work with that she fucks with them, knowing that I don't fuck with them, and then it's it's a thing. I'm very loved and very hated in my city. Mm-hmm. And I'm loved by the people that genuinely know me, genuinely know who I am, and what I represent. You know what I mean? The way I move is cocky. I'm cocky as fuck with my music, bro. Ain't nobody fucking with me, bro. I'm the best fucking rapper in the city. You feel me? But I'm supposed to feel that way because it's my craft. It's who I am. It's what I believe in.
And if not, why
am I doing it? Yeah. You know what I mean? 100%. And I have accolades to back my shit up. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But I don't throw that shit in anyone's faces. So they automatically take a look at me and they're just like, fuck this motherfucker. Fuck, he thinks he's better than me. He's better than that. No, I don't think I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you. But I'm still cordial and I'm still friendly and I won't diss. I did a song called Best Rapper in Bakersfield, right? Didn't diss anyone. Didn't call any names out. No. I explained why I was the best. That was it. I wasn't dissing nobody. People were like, some people were like, that's how he's supposed to feel, like I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Then I had some rappers like, yo, fuck you, pressing me at the club. A friend of mine, Jay, I love you. Jay Aubrey, that's my guy. I love you. Me and him go back. He pressed me. He was like, hey, motherfucker, like, I was getting ready to really press you right now, but you know what? Like, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, you know what it is. Like, I'm not dissing anybody. I'm not trying to put down anybody, but that's just how I'm supposed to feel.
Exactly.
So, he's like, yeah, I get it.
If he feels tight, it's because he recognizes real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only reason anybody would really feel some type of way. Because it's like it's competition.
I'm genuine, bro. And any artist that wants to reach out and ask me for help or like advice or anything, like I'm open. Like I'm very humble, but with this music shit, I'm not. But at the same time, I am. So when I say I'm very hated and very loved, I'm very hated by the people that think that I'm fucking cocky and an asshole. But I've never been cocky or an asshole. I've thrown shade before, yes. I don't start fights. I finish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to.
So like I said, my fucking story goes long, bro. I've been signed to Universal with a distribution deal. I've been under Eric Billinger and his team. I've opened up for major artists. I've fucking been on every single radio station in Bakersfield. I've performed at this thing called Village. Shout out Matt Munoz, that's my guy. He made it possible for me to perform one song at Village Fest. No rapper has ever done, and I was able to do that. You know what I mean? That just means that, bro, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hate it because but the real people know who I am and how genuine I am. And then there's people like those bars on wheel dickheads that are like, fuck this asshole. There's people that are on his team that are rappers are like, fuck this asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, you can think that way. You know what I mean? And I always give an artist a shot. You know what I mean? And there's only been maybe like one or two artists that acted like they were better or acted like assholes to me. And I was like, all right, bro. Like, all right. I have another story I could tell, but I promised this artist's best friend that I would keep his name out of my mouth. But, going back to, either the way I move, I'm very genuine and polite. Some people aren't. People are either how they were raised or how they.
I think it's social media that causes the arrogance. You know
Right.
And
That too.
And a lot of it, I mean, don't.
And a lot of people run to this guy, and I'm just like, why? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But yeah, it's a lot of arrogance, and it's just like, bro, only the real people know who I am, and know how I get down, know who I am and how I get down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you built up your catalog, you have your following.
Right.
You show that through your hard work, you got so many accolades.
Dude, I was on my fucking news, bro. My local news.
That's good.
So yeah, I was on the local news in Bakersfield, bro.
Yeah.
Like no other rapper's done that.
No shit.
Nobody's ever been interviewed. I did. I was.
How'd that happen?
Because I was making noise.
Oh, okay. Did
yeah,
it,
bro. So my guy, Humberto, that's his name. He hit me up. Was like, hey, I want to talk to you about possibly getting you on the news. Let's go to lunch. I said, okay, cool. And I'm like, I have to make an impression on this guy. I can't just dress like a rapper and You know, so what I did was I had this two-piece matching outfit. It was flamingos. It was a flamingo outfit. You know what I mean? I had to. I was like, dude, I want this man to know that I'm more than a rapper, that I have personality.
Yeah.
So I had this suit, this shorts, shirt, and it was a biggie. When I went to EDC, it was a huge hit, bro. I used to, I went to EDC one year and it was a huge hit. So I wore that to the lunch. She was like, oh my god! And everybody was like commenting on, yo, what you're wearing is cool. My god, we gotta take a picture with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was like, honestly, like, I'm glad you wore that because now I know that you're just not a rapper. You know what I mean? That you're not, that you're fun. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I am. So then he had hit me and he was like, yeah, we want to put you on, the news and this is what we're going to do, da 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 da. But here's I don't know how you're going to feel about this. They want you to perform, but there's no microphone or anything. They just want you to perform. So I go, no. I said, can I have a DJ come in and he have a microphone and I could just do it then? He's gonna let me see what I can do. So then, sure enough, I was able to bring a DJ in and give him some shine. It's my really good friend of mine, KG, and give him some shine. So therefore, oh yeah, he's on the news as well with me, and it looked more real. You know what I mean? Instead of just being fake. They did that to one artist, and I was like, oh man, she looks so bad right now. Like,
was she like a singer?
Yeah, it was a singer, and she just, just no microphone, no nothing, singing. I'm just like, dude, this is, no, you know what I mean? And I was like, dude, I have to be authentic, and that's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I am. I'm authentic in all ways, bro. You know what I mean? There's not a fake bone in my body. I'm an Aquarius, bro. Like, I get along with everybody. Like, I'm very friendly and I'm very outgoing. If we don't get along, there's something wrong with you, bro. Like, I'm cool as shit, bro. Like, I'm not an asshole. Like,
that should be a shirt right there. I'm
cool as shit, bro. I'm not an asshole. Like, I'm not disrespectful. I don't, bro. My parents raised me better than that shit. You know what I mean? So.
And shout out to parents too. Goddamn, how much of an influence is that in somebody's life? It's so crucial, man.
For sure, and it's funny as fuck now that we're parents.
Yeah, man.
So I see the shit that I have to deal with my daughter, and then something happened the other day, and it reminded me of what my dad used to do to me. And I used to hate that shit. But now I understand. Now I understand why. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty much the same exact fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, damn, I get it now,
It's crazy how life just reminds you, you know what I'm saying? It's that circle,
Right.
One day you're the kid, one day you're fucking up, one day your parents are getting at you, the next day you have a kid and they're fucking up and you're getting at them. Like, it's nonstop, dude.
Right.
It's nonstop. How has becoming a father changed your music?
Changed my music. It made me more. It gave me stories to tell. It gave me more perspective, a better perspective of life. A little more open, understanding. I try not to say bitches anymore because I have a daughter. You know what I mean? It slips sometimes. It only slips when I'm drunk, or you know what I mean, like. Or like when I'm telling a story, I'm like, yeah, bro. So we had these bitches in the room one time, and it's just like. Or like I'll say that shit and my wife will be like, you have a daughter, like why are you saying bitches? Like you shouldn't be swallowing, bitches. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So like the bitches is a word that I'm staying away from. And one of my lines was on my intro I go, so I'm living my new life between getting married and becoming a girl dad. So it was just like, it's a whole, it's a whole perspective. It's a whole new, situation. Yeah, I'm transitioning.
Starting to evolve a little.
Now I'm starting to understand a lot more. And my daughter is everything to me, bro. I love my kid.
That's when you realize no matter what, your day is going to be revolved around that one person.
Yeah.
Everything you do, everything you don't do,
right.
Your life is now theirs.
Yeah.
There's no more, maybe I can go do this on the weekend. I can go, that's gone now.
No.
Now, yeah.
That shit was
your
gone.
job, you
married,
clock
bro.
out. Yeah, that's true too. Hey, the wives are another story.
Right, no,
The wives.
I love my wife. I love my wife.
Absolutely, 100%. As you should. I love my wife as I should. But at the same time,
they still get on her fucking nerves though.
They have challenges. Yeah. So sometimes they're the roadblock and they don't see it.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong. Like she's very supportive of me, but like at times when I tell her I got a podcast, I get that face and it's like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like that with me being in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you can spend time here with us, but you want to be in the studio, and it's like, well, I actually I don't go to the studio anymore unless I'm doing something for myself. Mm-hmm. Then I'll flip the bill, but I still get paid for features sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, dude, I'm getting paid. So I'm gonna go do this. We're going to get some money real quick. Yeah. So and then she, as long as I, just make sure she has what she needs, and right now it's kind of rough because my wife is an immigrant, so she's freaked out all the time. But we have a lawyer. I have a lawyer that I'm paying off to. They're looking into her shit to get her citizenship. Mm-hmm. So she's just on edge all the time because you don't know what kind of Border Patrol person or, ICE person is going to be. Well, we don't care if you have a lawyer. Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, it doesn't work that way still. So you have a lawyer, it shows that you're complying to the United States' law. Mm-hmm. So therefore you don't fuck with, okay, well, since you're complying, okay, cool.
So I'm sure she feels some type of way when you're not there for that reason too. Like, what if they come and you're not here?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we live in a back house, which is cool. And we have a gate that locks, and the only person that can unlock it is me or her. Mm-hmm. So unless they're assholes, they want to try to break down the door. But what I did was, there's 2 addresses, so I took down my address and I moved my mailbox. So therefore, if worst comes to worst, they don't know that there's someone back there, which is us. Right. You know what I mean? And if they do, then it's okay. Well, it's all good. We'll figure it out. So, but she's good. But yeah, no, she, I have to say, right now in my life is I love music with all my heart and soul. Mm-hmm. And, a part of me, I told myself I was going to quit. I was going to be done and focus more on my wife and kid. Mm-hmm. Which my kid has autism and she has febrile seizures. So anytime she heats up, we have a matter of minutes to cool her down. If we don't cool her down in that minutes, then she seizes for 5 minutes. And then we have to take her to the hospital, cool her down, all that. You know what I mean? I told myself I was going to quit and spend more time with my family. But ever since then, for some reason why, people are calling me back to do shit. No, we want you to do a feature. No, my friend Joey, he worked with this guy named RD. They would sell exotic cars to celebrities, artists. Mm-hmm. He's tight with J Balvin. He's tight with Future, and he's tight with another person that I'm not gonna mention because he wants me to give him music to give to him. Because he owes my friend Joey a huge favor. So he's like, yo, so I haven't sent anything to him yet because I'm still going through my catalog to see what I want to send him. Mm-hmm. But for some reason why, it's I'm getting more plays now and I'm getting more, you know what I mean? Ever since I announced that I'm not doing music anymore, I let him know, I still have features.
A sign. I don't know if you're religious, but...
I have features. I still have features, and I still have a couple songs that I'll release still that I have because I don't want to sit on anything. But ever since then, my friends have been like, no, don't fucking do that. Don't quit. What the fuck? What are you doing? Why are you quitting? No, fuck you. Mm-hmm. Keep going. You're not washed. You're good. Then I have situations that are popping up. It's okay, So fuck it. It's in God's hands right now.
Yeah, there's signs everywhere. I've been through that. I've had those feelings at times. Where it's I'll tell the wife, hey, I just got booked for a run of shows I'll lay them out. We have a big old calendar on our wall for that reason alone, because we have so much shit going on. It's like, pencil it in, that way we know.
Right.
So I'll start filling it up. I got this show, I got that show. I got to sell tickets here. This one was the invite. I got a podcast this day. Like, I'll start putting it on, and then, like, in my head, the response I would like would be like, damn, I'm so proud of you. Look what you're doing. Like, you're trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? The responses that I kind of get, it's like,
Again.
No show.
Same.
Gotta find the baby.
At first, I feel it. At first, my wife was like, "Oh my God, you do music!" Like, saw me perform and saw how good I was. Would go to sessions with me, and there was one particular session, she went to with me, and it was quick. And my friend called me. He was like, "Hey, I need you to get on the song. Can you come to the studio? I'm like, where you at?" And it was 8 minutes away. So we hop in the car. It was before I had my kid. Hop in the car, get to the studio, right? And he plays the beat, and you being an artist, this beat's either gonna kick your ass, or you're gonna take time with it, or it's gonna come naturally and flow. Mm-hmm. It came naturally and flow, right? 10 minutes, I'm done. I'm done writing my verse, right? I go in the booth and I start going crazy, bro. And my wife is texting me while I'm in the booth, saying these guys are very impressed. They want to change their verse now. They want to.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's funny as fuck. Mm-hmm. So I finished my verse, and then they were like, "Oh my God, like you did that shit so quick." It's because I've been doing this shit for years, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, it don't take me a long time. Like, it don't take me a long time to write. Sometimes I think the longest it takes me to write. It depends. If I'm in the studio setting, like, give me like 15 to 45 minutes. I'll write a solid verse. Mm-hmm. But when I'm outside of the studio setting, it takes me a long ass time to write. Because I can't do that, because I if I'm not in that setting and I'm not in that mindset, I feel like I'm cheating myself. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather do shit in the moment and the vibes in the moment versus me writing something that I know I'm not going to record until like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Knowing that I'm in that space, though. When you're in that space, it's like, dude, you gotta, you know what I mean? When I lived in Atlanta, there was a couple times where I would write music at home because I really didn't have too many friends out there. And I would literally stay in my house, in my apartment, and play video games or write. Mm-hmm. But the studio was down the street, so I used to record at Soul Asylum with this guy named Dub. So I would hit him like, "Hey, I got some shit I want to record. What's the closest? Like, you be here an hour? Okay, cool, boom, there. I'm right there." But now that I'm so far from studios and shit, like I don't write when I'm not in the studio. I only write when I'm in the studio because I'm in my vibe, I'm in my bag, and I'm focused.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm opposite. I only go to the studio when I'm just ready to record, and that's if I can't record at my own place. If I can record and do everything in house and all that, I have no issue with that. When I go to the studio, because I know time is money and shit like that, it's like I want to get in, I want to lay it, get done. I have people hit me up, "Hey, let's jump at the studio, All right, cool. Mm-hmm. I'll tell them, send me some tracks. I want to get prepared, or let me send you something. We can get prepared when we go in. And 9 out of 10 times, we'll just figure out when we get there. I was like, I'm not trying to hang out. I'm not trying to party. I'm not trying to do none of this shit. I don't drink at the studio. I don't drink at all. I'll smoke every now and then, but like when it's time to lock in, I won't smoke at the studio. I won't do anything. I go in, I want to lay my shit and get out.
I had to learn that the hard way, because I used to record in Hollywood with this guy named Eldra, which is a friend of mine. We would have sessions, and this was like before I was married to my wife, but we were still kind of dating at the time, you know, and he had a stripper pole in his studio. So like he would, girls would pop up and strip, and I'm like, dude, this session was supposed to be for me. Like, I'm not trying to party.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a party, and I'm like, bro, like, okay, so this isn't what I wanted. You know what I mean? So it was just like, okay, cool, well, just give me what I have, and I'll figure it out, and then I'll take that to Bakersfield because I record in Bakersfield too with my friend Dre. And I'm like, all right, this is what I did. Let me just redo it so that, you know what I mean? And sometimes I was able to complete shit at his studio, in Ultra Studio. But, like, there was a good majority of time where I didn't because it was, you know, bitches everywhere and just strippers and just everywhere. It's just like, oh, bro, like, this isn't what I want. Like, then it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like when the vibe's off, like, you know what you feeling. It's
right.
like I came in with this mindset to work and grind and make the best of what I can, like a possible. Like, you never know. It takes one person to hear it and set it off. So it's like you have that mindset. This could be it,
right.
you know. And it's like I got to deal with this motherfucker, like smoking and coughing and drinking over here. I got to deal with some bitch over here.
And you know what's funny is like you say that, bro, because some features that I'll do, there's this one guy I did a feature with. I pulled up to the studio. He was lean the fuck out, bro. So listen, but it worked out in my favor. So look, he was leaned out popping perks. Yeah. Right? So I do the feature and he's passed out on the couch. And I'm like, fuck. Alright, you know what I mean? So we're playing, he's mixing mastering. And I'm like, how long does this guy have with your session? He's got like another 6 hours. I was like, and he's sleeping. I was like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, oh, fuck, I'm here. What do you want to do? So I fucking 4 hours for free, and I just fucking did like.
Hey, a lot of the engineers when they get booked to be in those studios with you, they don't give a fuck what you do, right? As long as they can work, they just want to work.
Right.
So if that person, I did my one track, yeah, but you booked for like 4 or 5 hours. You did a 12-hour block.
Yeah. So I locked in like a good 2-3 songs, and then that was that was it.
Free,
I left, and he had 2 hours left, and he was still asleep. Like so then he had hit me like, hey, like, you want to throw in on that session? I'm like, no, you invited me, you fell asleep. You know what I mean? I tried to wake you up. He wanted to work with me, so fuck it. He's like, oh, it's all good. He never talked to me ever again after that, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. Don't get fucked up. I see people get fucked up in the studios. Like, why? Why? Like, I'll sip on shit. You know what I mean? Like, I have a ritual with me and my friend Dre. We'll drink a bottle of Bel Air Rosé each. Just one. You know, sip it. You know, and then after that, that's it. Like, I won't go fucking shot, fucking, you know, getting fucked up. Like, I don't work well that way. You know, I can't, if I'm super faded, I can't do shit. I can't rap. I can't, you know what I mean? I don't smoke. I used to smoke, but I don't smoke. It made me feel like I was, one strand made me feel like I was going to die.
Damn.
And after that, I never wanted to smoke ever again. Yeah. And then 8 years later, I tried it again, and the same feelings came back. I'm like, fuck this. Like, fuck marijuana. So.
Nah, like for me, like I can't even say it chills me out. It'll put me in a different mindset where I'm like okay, I'm ready to grind even harder. It's weird, like you're supposed to like be mellow and just chill with it, but for me, I smoke. I'm ready to work even more now. Like
yeah, you know what though?
I don't know why.
On one of my songs that I'm about to, it's called Values. I say never needed influences for a 16, but sometimes I wonder how it would sound, how it really be. I wonder if I would sound a little better, but I'm still Curry in the booth. I'm far wetter. Or LeBron with seconds, yeah, a few on the clock. Or D up like Draymond, yeah, I got it locked. So I think about, like, I'm good as fuck already with the bars. I wonder if marijuana would elevate me. That's basically what I was saying. Yeah. But then it's like, I don't want to take that risk because if I'm in the studio paranoid, thinking I'm going to die, that's a waste of time.
Can't focus on your
And a lot of people, when I used to work with Eric Bellinger and Raziel and them, they would chief up. They would smoke up. They're in the booth going crazy. Mm-hmm. I would never do it. I would never smoke with them. Yeah. I would drink with them, but I would never smoke with them. But then I always thought in the back of my head, like, I wonder if I smoked weed, if I would be even crazier than I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just not willing to take that shit.
No, if you're good, man, don't even try it. No. If you know what you sound like and you're comfortable with what you sound, you're happy with that direction and finding your voice now, stay with it. Don't do anything that's gonna alter it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that you even have that apprehensive thought where you're like, will it do this? Because that's gonna be playing in your mind while you're smoking too. Now you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before we move any further, I want to save this because I don't want to lose anything because we're doing a great job.
Oh, you really thought that I fell off? Oh, you really thought that I come south? You are just not in my league, so please undeceased. You just a creep, social distinct. Stay away 6 feet, please. Any track I come to play, hear what I say on beats I sl-
And just like that, we're back. All right, yeah. So before we just took that commercial break, that infomercial break, we were talking about studios and studio experiences and whatnot. One time I was in the studio and I can't say the location because this person's gonna know what I did, and I didn't mean to be shitty about it, but I was in the studio, and I mean maybe I could say it, maybe I won't say it.
Yeah.
I was at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I get invited to the studio a lot of times. Just like you, I've been blessed with people that want to work with me, people that want to record with me. I have a lot of engineers and beat makers that want me on their shit. So, hey, I want to run a catalog through you and whatever you want to, jump in the booth. So I've had that number of times. This one time I was at the studio. We were in there for like probably an hour. Hour straight of just listening to the beats. And I was thrown off because they sent me some sample beats at first. And I was like, all right, I can fuck with this. I started writing already. We get in there and knock out one track with them. The next one, I was like, all right, let's bring up the next one. Oh, no, let's start going through the catalog. And I was like, you don't want to run through this first and then we go through that after? I was like, it's a process. I was like, I don't work like that where you tell me to jump and I go how high. It has to be at my pace, my leisure, when I feel influenced by whatever the song's making me want to say. It's like, so if you want to waste time doing that, we can do that. Oh, no, just let's run through it. All right, cool. So first 10 minutes of the session, I knock out one track with them. The last 50 minutes, they had the studio for like, I think they said like a 6-hour block or some shit like that. So I let them, run it for 50 minutes, and everything I'm hearing, I'm like, this is trash. So I just keep them like, next. And with me, like when it comes to beats, if I don't feel something, I swear to God, within the first 5 seconds, I'm already off. I'm like, something about that first where it has to get me, like, and I probably don't do a service to the music sometimes because it's like sometimes you need like the beat needs to build up for you and then then you feel it. But for me, it's like if it's not grabbing me from jumps, I don't want to waste my time.
You know what they say? They say when it comes to beat, the first 10 seconds is what's supposed to do it for you. And then when audiences listen to your music, you got their attention span for 4 lines.
Okay.
4 lines. If you ain't saying anything in these 4 lines, they're gonna skip it. It's like the way you come out on a song has to be like a horse coming out at the Kentucky Derby.
Right on jump, yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. So like I said, going through his catalog, and from what they sent me was nothing to what they were playing me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, did they steal a beat? Did they buy a beat and send it my way? I'm trying to like piece together what's happening. I'm like, man, I don't know. So then like it's going on and going on. These beats are like progressively getting worse. So I'm like, man, they probably played me new shit and I didn't like it. So now they're digging. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm just not feeling it. So I was like, no. I was like, I don't feel like I could write to any of this. I was like, that other stuff you sent me, I already have him ready to go. Like, we can finish this up right now if you want. Oh, no, let's play a couple more. It's like, all right. So a couple more go, and I'm just like, man, I got to think of a way to get out of here. Got to think of a way. So I lied on my wife's behalf. I pretended my phone went off. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, you know what? My wife needs me. Emergency with the family. I got a jam. So, all right, that's fine. It's cool. I was like, hey, my bad. I don't mean to split. So I'm walking out of the studio, and another artist, I guess, has worked with me before. He goes, hey, you just jumped in with that? I was like, yeah, why? Trash, right? I was like, trash. He's like, come to my studio. I was like, we got some real beats over here. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I just told him I was leaving. He goes, don't worry, they ain't gonna see you. I was like, nah, I'm good. He goes, I guarantee you, you hear one song, you'll want to stay. All right, so I snuck back in. Right past the room. The fucked up thing is when I left the door open. So if they turned, they would have seen me, no problem. So I'm sneaking back in. I'm like, I feel like a dick because I did that. But I get into this next studio, and it's like the beats that I thought that they sent me originally, I feel like they took it from them because it was nothing but that I heard. So I ended up standing there for like 3-4 hours, and we knocked out, I think, like 4 songs.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, I was just like...
Some people you can't work with. And it's nothing... It has to do sometimes with vibes, sometimes times, or just auras. You know what I mean?
I think it was their style.
Yeah.
Because they're good people. They weren't bad. Like,
right.
like, I feel like I was a dickhead in that situation, but
right.
like, it's just... I feel like what they sent me wasn't theirs.
Yeah. No,
That's what I felt like.
You can only, you can only be inspired. And if you're not inspired, then you're lying to yourself. And then if you're lying to yourself, you're lying to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, no, I get it. There's been times where I've been in the studio and I'm like, I'm not feeling this at all. Like, you know, I'm not, and I'll be like, hey, I gotta go. Why? I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? I don't, okay, all good. You know what I mean?
I'll just give them a USB, like, just put some on a flash drive for me, and I'll take it and listen.
But the cool thing about me is I have friends that I came up with that are producers. And that when I was with Eric Bellinger, I'm friends with his producers. So we were all I was with them for like 2 years straight, every day. Just fucking around, recording music, going to the clubs, going on tour, doing shit. You know what I mean? So we all grew up, we all have a relationship. Mm-hmm. So anytime I need beats from them, it's here you go, here you go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a high school friend that still makes beats that we grew up together. So he'll send me beats. So I know his style and I know their style, and it just works. I try not to go outside, but I had one producer from New York send me 2 beats. I was like, fuck yeah, like I'll take it. Like they're dope. You know what I mean? But I like to keep my circle of, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because when you listen to other artists, like for instance, The Game, right? Mm-hmm. Dr. Dre was his first producer, right? And then he went off to Cool and Dre, and then he did a whole album with, I don't know, with the same producer, and it just wasn't. It didn't give me the same feeling as when he worked with Dre. Mm-hmm. It didn't give me the same feeling as if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. It's not bad, but it's just like you gotta. I like to be more comfortable knowing, that I know what I'm gonna get out of him. You know what I mean? Instead of me going into a session blind and being like, oh,
what was this shit?
Right. Like for instance, like I'll give you an example. My friend Otis Desai, he's the main reason why I do music. He hit me up in MySpace days like, hey, I heard that mixtape. I think you have potential. I make beats. Like, come to the studio and let's work. And his studio was in his room, and his parents were heart surgeons in Bakersfield. So they had a huge fucking house. Mm-hmm. House right next to right next to Derek Carr, because Derek Carr's from Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. So I go to his house. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, his room's literally bigger than this room.
God damn.
Like, bigger than this room. And it's just upstairs. It's like a one bedroom apartment in his room, except for the kitchen. So I remember he made one beat that was cool, but he would make me beats that were just like, nah, like I don't like, it's not my style. But then once I brought in my friend Tony Trex, we all went to school together, and Tony would work with Otis. Tony had so it's funny, Tony had his artist, which is Anthony, right? And I was Otis's artist. Mm-hmm. So we all got together and started a group. So Otis, his style of beats was more for Anthony, and Tony's style of beats were more for me. So we all worked together and we all figured this shit out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just doesn't work out. But then at the end of the day, you figure it out. You know what I mean? There was one time where I had to do this verse for somebody, and and the beat was horrible. And I sat in front of the computer just like, oh, all right. so I'm contemplating in my head, like, do I just give him like 8 bars and just I had to give him 16?
And then peace out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fuck, like no, because I'm a professional still. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. But I'd give him a 16. It was great. It was cool, whatever. It hasn't came out yet. I don't know where it's at, but you get those times where you're in the studio and it's like, oh, I don't like this. I'm not feeling this. And then you don't want to let that person down. That's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? And they're feeling it, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? And I'm a little spoiled,
Try to switch the headphones.
I'm a little
What are you hearing?
I'm spoiled because the producers that I have worked with, produced for Wale, fucking Eric Bellinger, fucking Problem, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same producers that produced for them produced for me too. Yeah. Like my whole Mark of the Beast album was all produced by Eric Bellinger's team, except for one song, and that's from Tony, my boy Tony. He did Smiling Faces, but it's just I was spoiled, fucking hearing beats from. I was in Interscope one time. It was me, Eric, and my boy Raziel. We go to Interscope in Santa Monica, right? We're supposed to go help Eric write this song for a race car driver. It's like, okay, whatever. Walk in there, fucking Hit Boy sitting there on his computer. I'm like, fuck, it's Hit Boy, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, what up, bro? Cool. Yeah, we in here. Okay, cool. So we were in there, and there was nothing we could do to help this fucking race car driver. So me and Raziel were like, bro, we're splitting. Like, you got this? He's like, I guess. So we split, but before we walked out, and we were listening to Hit Boy, and Eric had walked out. So then we're in the studio with Hit Boy, and he's just playing these beats. Fucking that song Drake did. I should probably sign with Hit Boy. I should probably gotta sign a Hit Boy because I got all the Hit Boy. Right, I heard that beat before. You know what I mean? And it was cool being with them because like we would go to the studios and I'd be hearing shit that came out. Like for instance, this girl named BB. BB. She wrote "Bitch, but I have my money."
No shit.
By Rihanna, right? Rihanna.
That's not that white girl, BB.
No. She's a black girl. She's a black chick, bro. We were in. It was me, Rozzy. I forget his name. Me, Rozzy, BB, Travis Scott. We're all in the studio, right? And I didn't even know who Travis Scott was. He was just some dark ass motherfucker with braids. You know what I mean? Like just whatever. I didn't know. Oh yeah, no. What's up, bro? Like I'm Travis. Oh yeah, whatever. I'm B3. So we watched her do "Bitch, but I have my money." She wrote the whole thing. And then when Travis was like, "Yeah, Riri's gonna like that," and I'm thinking, I'm looking at my boy Roz, and I'm like, "Are you talking about Rihanna?" Like, yeah, just we're talking. Like, how the fuck did you get that situation? And she was just like, "Yeah, no, Kanye was fucking with me, so yeah." But listen, speaking of Kanye, I got invited to a Kanye writing session.
No shit,
dude. Oh my god, not too many people know this. Only a couple people know this, but I've never told this story.
Ooh, exclusive.
I've never told this story. So, this guy, right? I met from What Up Partner podcast. There's an artist that works with Good Music that I guess they know. They hit him and we were chatting it up. He's like, "Yeah, no, it's all good. Like, I listen to your music. I like your music." I said, "Yeah, I like your music. Da 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 da." So Saturday, I do the podcast Friday. Saturday comes, right? And I'm not feeling too well. Like, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Mm-hmm. So that morning, I get a call from this guy. I forget his name. I'm really mad because it's like slipping my mind, and I should remember his name, but I don't. He was like, "Hey, I got you with us at Kanye's needs a song written. Come to the studio in Van Nuys, and he's gonna be there. We're gonna write, and we want to see what you can write too. I'm like, fuck, like, write for Kanye, like, fuck yeah, bro. So I was like, what time? He's like, oh, we're going to be here probably around 10 o'clock at night. So that day was my wife's mom's birthday, right? So we go to Bell, right? And I remember sitting, and I wasn't feeling well that day. Then I was sitting there, and all of a sudden my head just started hurting horribly. But the way my head was hurting was, I remember when I had COVID. That's exactly what the fuck happened. So I pull my wife aside. I'm like, let's go to the store real quick. She's like, why? I said, because I think I have COVID. Let me test real quick. She's like, all right. So we go, test in the parking lot. Then I'm positive for COVID. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm feeling like shit, bro. And I'm like, there's no way. And my wife knew I had a session over with Kanye, is right. And my wife's like, you shouldn't go. You really shouldn't go. Like, it took everything inside of me to try to convince myself, yo, you can do it. You can do it. But dude, I was feeling so bad. So I hit the dude. I was like, dude, I just got COVID. I swear to God. I sent him the picture. He's on no bueno. Then after that, I was never invited to a Kanye session ever again.
That's how it goes.
I was like,
that's how it goes.
Fuck, bro.
I mean, I've never been invited to anything like that, so I can't say that's how it goes, but it's just like, in a sense, like, if you get invited and to anywhere, you know, and you decline, you don't show, like, a lot of times people...
They take that shit, you know, but I said to them, like, dude, it's a picture, I'm just... Yeah. I feel like shit. You don't want me to go in there and give everybody fucking COVID. You know what I mean? I would
have went in with COVID and just been like, I'm so sick. I'm gonna give you guys COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so ill with these bars. I'm gonna give you COVID.
Bro, but I'm telling you though, my head was fucked and it hurt. I was in so much pain, bro, and I was feeling like shit.
No, you made the right choice health wise. Because who knows if you would have got worse driving out there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows if you would have caught a fever and passed out in the session and everybody's fucking freaking out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you made the right choice.
Right. So,
it's their loss, it's their miss because they lost out on a great writer. So,
right.
You know? So that's where you gotta look at it. I mean, shit happens. Like I've said before, life. You know, life is life. And
and it's cool. And you know, like I said, I experienced shit like that with Eric fucking Zendaya. Zendaya's a sweetheart, bro. One time we went to. I've told the story before. We went to Eric's studio because what we would do is we get up in the morning, go to the studio, go there all night, eat. Then we'd work, then spend the night, wake up around 11, go home, shower, get our shit together, and go back. One particular night we came back to the studio, Zendaya was in there with this producer named Rockstar. It was Zendaya, her dad, and Rockstar. And we were like, fuck, so we're just waiting outside, like, fuck it, like, you know, it is what it is. We're just, you know, we'll just chill, you know, nothing crazy. Wait for her session to be over so we can go in there. Session's over, she comes out. There's a song playing. She was crip walking. She had flip-flops on. Adidas sweatpants, and a Hawaiian shirt. And her hair was up and all fucked up. And when she saw us, she got embarrassed. She was like, oh shit. So then went to the car bounce. Right. So Eric pulls her session up and goes, well, I wonder what the fuck she was working on. So she was working on a song. I'm not going to tell you the title of the song or how it goes, but it was fucking great. So I work for the movie industry, right? I'm a labor foreman, and I make sure the tools are good, that, sets are clean, and my guys are doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. So we did Euphoria season 2, which she's on. So I see her, this is post Spider-Man. She wasn't with Spider-Man at the time. I see her, she's outside the cafeteria by herself eating pizza. And I had to bring something to an office, so I'm riding right past her, right? And I go, yo, Z, I got a question for you. She's like, what's up? Talk to me. I go, how come you never released da-da-da-da-da? So what? I was like, and I started singing it to her. Right? She's like, oh my God, you know that? I was like, yeah, I thought it was a great song. Like, why didn't you release it? And she was telling me the reason why, and you know, she was just shocked that I knew. You know what I mean? So then I said, all right, my bad. Then you know, I don't mean to interrupt you while you're eating pizza. I'll bounce. Like I'm out of here. You know, have a good day. So I know, sit down, talk to me, bro. I'm literally this close as a dead, like where you're at. Mm-hmm. We're sitting here talking about music, we're talking about movies, talking about her situation when it comes to her deal, and then my dad pulls up. Who's my boss, right? What the fuck are you doing? She's like, no, he's good. Like, he's good. Like, don't worry about it. I told him to sit down and talk to me. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I need him to go back to work. So then, all right. So then, ever since then, she knows who I am. And every time she would see me, I'm like, yo, what up, B? Like, yo, what up, Z? How you feeling? I'm good. All right, for sure. I'll holler at you. You know, we're good. Mm-hmm. So I have interactions with certain stars, too, that are like, that shows that I've been on, that were like we did home economics, and Jimmy Tatro is a friend of mine. Like we would we would talk fantasy football a lot. He'd come up to me and we would just chop it up. He's a tequila lover like I am, so we would take shots together. So one time, you know, at the end of the show, there's a rap party, and I was with my wife sitting at the table, and I made friends with all the cast because you know we're all good. And my dad had a little tricycle, electric tricycle, and we would just ride it. And then the actors, I'm gonna ride it, so they would drive my dad's tricycle, and then like I had a basketball court, so we would shoot together too. Yeah. So I'm sitting at the table with my wife, and then the whole cast of home economics comes over to my table, sits down, and my wife's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And we're sitting there drinking, just you know. But then we had
casual, just another day.
And I had a plan that night, and the plan was to get Jimmy to follow me on Instagram because I never pushed it. But my wife wasn't feeling good, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drop you off and come back to the rap party." Yeah. And one of my workers was at the rap party, was cool with Jimmy too. He's like, "Dude, where you at?" I was like, "Bro, I'm at home. My wife's not feeling good. I'm trying to get back over there." He's like, "You need to because Jimmy's asking about you. They're gonna do. He's gonna have a little after party at his spot." And I was like, "Bro, okay. Like, let me try to figure this out." Like, but my wife was like, "No, like, I want you to stay." I'm like, fuck. So I want him to, you know, but he's cool. Like, I'll see him now. He's like, "Yo, what up?" You know what I mean? "Hey, what's up, G?" Like, "Yeah, well, you know, what up, bro?" Like, yeah. So yeah, like I make relationships with actors, and you know they're cool. And
hey, you got cock blocked twice. Damn, first your dad, and then your wife.
Bro, I wanted Zendaya like bad, bro. When I saw her all dolled up, I was like, "Oh, bro." But yeah, this was before my wife.
Your dad's all driving by pressing you and shit. Yeah, like, he's such a dick. Damn, dude, that sucks.
Nah, she was a sweetheart though.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. You have those experiences. That's stuff that you can always keep with you. That's stuff that you know it's gonna help tell your story in life.
But she was tall too, Zendaya. She's tall, hella tall.
And you said it was before Spider-Man?
It's before Spider-Man.
I was gonna ask you, did he pop up too?
No, he did on season 3 though.
Okay.
So he popped up on season 3.
He looks like a cool
But I wasn't with because my dad had 2 crews. He had one at Euphoria and one at Home Economics, and I was at Home Economics.
Oh, okay.
So
you never got a chance.
But my dad, I never got to meet Spider-Man, but my dad had, and I guess they talked a couple times. And
he looks like he'd be a cool person, like a fun person.
Well, when I was
his interviews look fun.
When I was in Atlanta and worked on Avengers, I met basically everybody except for Robert Downey.
Okay.
But fucking Scarlett Johansson one time she pulled up in a cart and asked me a question, and she was wearing this black leather, just oh my god, right? And she just had given birth, so like her milk bag was crazy. So
like, fashion over.
I was like. I don't know. So okay,
we can go take a drive and find out.
No. I don't know what's but yeah, no. Fucking Chadwick Boseman was cool before he died. He was cool. Michael B. Jordan was cool. You know, I've met a lot of actors, bro. Will Smith was cool. Tommy Lee Jones, Kevin Costner was cool. You know, you just gotta treat them like regular people.
Yellowstone.
I worked on 1932.
Okay.
I was in Montana for like 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, during the
Right,
cold.
right now we're watching. What was it something 23?
1923.
1923.
That's what I worked. Not 32. I'm sorry, 1923.
Oh, you did that one?
Yeah.
That's it. Me and my wife watch every Sunday.
Nice.
Every Sunday, that's our shit.
Nice.
We have different shows throughout the week that'll come up that we watch. That's our Sunday show. That's cool, dude.
Nice.
That's cool. So I know off camera we talked that you got into the business because your dad, the movie business. Did your dad at any point ever try to tell you, hey, step away from music and get more into this? Like,
he doesn't really. My dad, when it comes to like supporting, like he's not really like I'll play him some of my shit that I feel like he would like, and he's like, yeah, that's cool. Like he'll never be like, oh my god, that's amazing. And my mom too, she doesn't really fuck with my music. She doesn't, that's just her though. My brother fucks with my music. He's like, that shit's tight. My sister, not really. She's kind of got her own shit. But yeah, it's just really my brother and my dad. Be like, oh, cool, whatever. It's whatever. And there was one time we went to Yang Chow in downtown LA, and we went to Yang Chow, and there was a label having. Can I?
Do your thing.
So we went to Yang Chow, and there was a label having a lunch there, and my dad was trying to politic for me. Like, oh yeah, no, he's an artist. What I should have did. This is one of my biggest regrets ever. Is I was in my work clothes and I was dirty as fuck because I was been working all day, and we went to Yang Chow for dinner. For lunch, right? What I should have did was get my ass up and rap in front of every fucking body. But I didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but that's one of my, regrets.
I thought you were going to, try to press your dad in front of them and be like,
nah.
Tell my...
He was politicking, he's an
song.
artist, he did this, he did that, cool. Then I got one contact, but that guy was an intern. There was really nothing he knew.
Yeah. No, I would have been like, hey, tell me your favorite song of mine, Dad.
Right.
How does that one go again? Why do you like it?
Right.
Just fuck with him. No, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, maybe it gives you some hunger and drive to be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing it. They're gonna come around and love it regardless, or they just have to accept it for what it is.
Right.
I'm blessed to say that my parents heavily fuck with my music. They push it on everybody. My first album, that's when CDs were still kind of relevant, so they were taking them and giving them to people for me. Like they spread the word. They said every so often they'll try to donate tickets. They'll bring people. Like,
that's good, man.
They really campaign with me.
Yeah, my parents are complete opposite.
my brothers fuck with me. My sister fucks with me. Like everybody really pushes it. My wife, she supports, but she won't grind with me for it. If that makes sense. Like I said,
a lot of people say, not to cut you off, a lot of people say in order to get your wife involved, you need to get her involved with you as far as maybe managing you or handling your Instagram or handling, this, that, and the other.
I don't have faith in her to do that because she don't have no social media presence herself.
Right.
She's always been just very education heavy.
Yeah. She
has two bachelors and a master's, so she's just, and the way I try to articulate it to her, I was like, remember when you're going to school to get all that and you're grinding and you're putting hours for this and, because you want that payoff. That's what I'm going through right now.
Right.
So that support you had to get you through school and help you through school and to support you, whatever you need, all that. That's what I'm looking for now because your payoff is your degrees and whatever.
Yeah.
My payoff is going to be something else, but that drive that you had that made you go, right after school, I'm going to stay in school and that's my drive. That's what I'm doing. So it's I'm trying to articulate it the right way without hurting feelings and shit like that. It's don't get me wrong. She never tells me no, don't go to a show. No, don't do it. She's never told me no. She's never told me don't do a feature. Don't get money off of whatever. She's always okay. So the best way I explain it is she just lets me be with music. She's not gung ho about it. She don't press people for me, but she's not ever say no, don't do it. No, that sounds, you know.
Yeah.
So she just like, if that's what you do it. So it's like I get the support in that
She
aspect.
sees the love that I get in the city. My wife sees the love. She sees what I've done. You know what I mean? She sees what I've done, and you know what I mean, and what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And she respects it, but she doesn't want me to. Because her thing is, she's like, you had a whole lifetime to become an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why now? Like, now that you're married with a kid, you need to be with us now. But then it's like, I feel it.
But like, as you grow and evolve, it's like you just get better and better at it.
Right.
It's like, okay, you just got that job, and you get promoted because you get better at it. It's like, I'm supposed to just stop working now?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then if music is your true calling and your passion, like for me, I wake up and I hate going to my job. I won't say what it is, but I hate my job every single day. 100% I'm there for the money. 100%. And the benefits too for my kids. But when I wake up, I think about music. When I go to bed, I think about music. I reflect on past shows that I did. I'm thinking about writing the next track. I'm thinking about these features that are coming in, features that are going out. Like my mind is all over music. 100% family first. 100%. But like, I know my calling is music. I know that's my passion because I wake up and I go to sleep thinking about it. My perfect day is waking up. Okay, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna do this. Spend time with my kids, my wife, and all that. Then we go to bed. I'm gonna go back to music.
There's times where it's like that for me. Sometimes not, but there's some times where I'll try to go to bed, and this goes back to me saying I don't like writing music unless I'm in the studio. I'll try to go to bed, and then something hits
All the time.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
All the time.
So then, like one or two lines will be okay. This is a good start. I'll finish this later. Then I'll think about those 2 lines, and then another 4 lines will come up. Then sometimes like, damn, I'm going fucking. Why am I going crazy right now? I'm nowhere near a microphone. Like I'm fucking writing some shit. One time I was on the freeway. I wrote "Beast of Baco," one of my songs, on my way to Bakersfield. While I'm driving on the Grapevine, I wrote that song, and it was great. It was a hit.
I feel like I come up with some of my best shit when I'm driving, cause like, I'm not thinking about I'm not overthinking.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about my safety or whatever safety on the road, and then just boom, a line hits. I'm like, this is fucking great, like
Right.
you know. So I'm like, I'm listening, but then I'm driving. It's like, I feel like that's like the culmination right there. Just, it comes together right there.
Right.
Because there's times where I do take my family into consideration. I feel bad, like, you know, yeah, you're right. I just did 3 shows in a row. I was with the homeboys. We were out, we're partying, or whatever. I do owe you guys a good weekend, a solid weekend, no music, no nothing. So I'll spend all day, whatever they want to do. But then everybody goes to bed. Okay, my mind goes right back into work, and I'll go walk around the block right here. I'll in between the 2 buildings. There's little like platforms you can sit on, stone seats. Dude, probably like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I sat out there for like 2 hours. Just 2 hours, just sat out there and played the same beat over and over again, wrote one song. The next beat, another song. And it's like, sometimes it's easy for me to just go take a walk, sit somewhere and do music. You know, I'll sit on my balcony. I'll just write music right there. Yeah, but like sometimes it's it affects a family, you know? And sometimes I don't mean for it to. I know you don't either. But it's like when it's your calling and it's your passion, it's like, how do you explain it to somebody that maybe not that they don't have a goal or a passion, but it's like, how do you articulate that? Like this is what I'm born to do this, so you have to let me do it without hurting feelings, you know? Like it's hard. It's hard to navigate at times, you know. Any artist that's going through, any artist that's feeling this way, you know, we can attest to it. We feel the same way. You're not alone. It's a hard road to walk. It's a lonely road at times because you feel you have everybody around you, but you're still doing it solo. And man, it's rough waters, man. Rough waters because you know you got to balance being a dad. You got to balance being an employee. You got to balance being a husband. You know, as much as you want to live that dream and chase it, it's like there's a cost. There's a cost to everything. You know, you just got to figure out what's worth sacrificing and how to time manage. Dude, there's times where I'll get a couple hours of sleep just because I'm up writing. And it's like, I know, it's like, man, the next day's going to kick my ass. You know, I gotta get my wife has to go to work at a certain time, so that means I gotta get my son ready for school, then my daughter ready, then my other son down for his nap. Then I gotta drop one off, pick one up. It's like I already know my days are gonna be all fucking wrecked. But it's like I love music that much, where it's like I'm gonna be up till 3, 4 in the morning writing music, and you know I'll deal with it after. You know, I mean, you know how it is. You know about sacrifices. You know about putting whatever it takes to do what you love. You know, it's when it's meant for you. There's nothing that's gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? There's no limit. There's nobody. There's no. It could be a bad track. You know, like you're talking about earlier. Like, damn, I can only give him 8 bars. You know, like there's nothing that's gonna stop you. You know, it's just when it's meant for you. You know. That's why I love music though. I love that emotion that brings. You know. I love that vibe that you feel like when you're writing a track and you know you fucking kill it. Doesn't that moment just feel like that realization? Doesn't it bring something out of you? Like, God damn, I did that.
And then you like to see the reactions when you do it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I love that. I love seeing it at live shows too. When I'm performing, I do a Nipsey Hussle remix. So last time that I checked, and for me, there's always artists. There's always artists that are at my shows, and a lot of them are always salty, standing front row. Those are like the biggest haters. They're front row recording and shit.
Bro, I did. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll let you jump to it. But in that remix, I somehow get to it where I say that these artists are always on some play shit, always on some fake shit. So now I'm on them go and get them artists out my way shit. Mm-hmm. I'm after blood like I bang Crips, you know, like I start saying all this shit, and when I say that, I start locking eyes with the ones that I know are haters, and I start looking at them, calling, like making that eye contact to let them know, like I'm here, like we can go bar for bar at any time you want, like we'll spit whatever you want, we can do it, any track, let's do it, you know. But it's like when I'm writing that shit and I record it, I'm like, damn, like someone's gonna have hurt feelings over this shit. Cause I'm fucking killing it.
It comes with the territory, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people who have hurt feelings off of the lyrics that I said.
Mm-hmm. But like we said earlier, you're supposed to feel that way. Yeah. You're supposed to, and for me, like there's not enough like people taking it as competition. Mm-hmm. To me, a lot of the shit I hear is just about money they don't make, about bitches they don't get. Being with the homeboys, when if you're a guy, you should probably want to be kicking with some girls and shit, pulling bitches, or girls, but you know they're always talking about just hanging with the bros. And it's like it's a lot of like slight homosexual stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's like it's. I feel like a lot of music has lost its sport. You know, the competition. And for me, I love hearing when artists kind of like not go at it, but like become braggadocious and stand on like I am the best. Yeah, like I'm the shit, and it's like that's what I want to hear, because now I know it's gonna be some real shit. Yeah, I don't want to hear you melodic mumble and this. My kids do that shit, you know. My kids mumble at times. It's like listen to them.
I had did a show at our fair, our county fair, mm-hmm. and the artists that were picked were voted by people, and there was in Bakersfield. There's no support whatsoever, no love. Nobody wants to see anybody do better. There's it's fuck you type shit over there. That's what it is.
Bunch of haters.
So bunch of haters. So I had headlined, and like everybody that was performing, like all the artists would stand on the side like this bullshitting, not even paying attention. And then here I am fucking rapping to these little kids and families, and was like, you know, while these artists over here just, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, like I'll never do that again. You know what I mean? And right now, I'm at the point of my life right now where Bakersfield, I've done it all. I have nothing to prove there. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do any more shows there. I don't want to do nothing there. I've done it. I'm a fucking big ass koi in a pond full of, you know, goldfish. I'm done. You know, mm-hmm. Put me somewhere else. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
And in order for me to do a show in Bakersfield, I'd you know, open up for bigger artists, like maybe like a, you know, Snoop or Ice Cube. But Bakersfield nothing but haters, bro. I just, you know, I love my city and shit, but like I've done it all, been there, done that. There's really nothing for me to achieve there anymore.
Boy,
the only thing that I'm gonna be
evolving
doing
now, like it's expanding. That's
The only
brands get bigger and bigger.
The only thing I'm gonna do there is continue the toy drive that I do every Christmas, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So before we get you out of here, though, I do want to talk about the toy drive.
Yes.
Because I told you before, like, there's things I want to do. I just never know how to get started. And
Yep.
you said like it was pretty easy. And I was like,
Very.
it sounds pretty easy. So for sure, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about where B3 comes from. If you want to talk about your name, how you got it, if you just chose yourself.
B3 came from my name is Brandon Benjamin Benavides.
Okay.
So BBB is simple. It's just I used to be Triple B. Ugly. It was an ugly ass name. I used to be B Cubed, ugly ass name, and then I recorded with Logan, who does he's on that show Rapping Shit. Good friend of mine. And I recorded with him. He's always your rap name Triple B's ugly as fuck. So I'll just B3. It's simple. I'm like, yeah, okay, fuck it. Ever since then it was B3, but B3 and then B3 AST 661. So Beast, the Beast. You know what I mean? And I have a song called Beast Tobacco, and then I have an album called Mark of the Beast. But, let me just say this now. There's no satanic shit in that shit. God is the way, truth, and the light. God is the homie. All things are possible through him. So just, if you see that album, which you can get on YouTube, type in Mark of the Beast B3. Go to my channel, Brandon Benavides B3. And all my albums, all my music will be there, and hopefully you can pull it up.
Once you're there, make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Hit likes on all those videos. Drop some B3 comments. You already know what to do. You know how to run it up. Don't play with my man.
Then the toy drive was easy. You just
let's talk about that.
So you find a venue. Tell them what you want to do. 9 times out of 10, that venue is going to give you a discount. I'll let you do it for free because of what you're going to do. What you're doing. So what I did was, I contacted a place called Off the Rails, which is where I performed at already. Due to my boy Matt Munoz, he put me on with her. Shout out Rebecca. I'm sorry. Shout out Rebecca. And so therefore I hit her like, hey, I want to do a toy drive. If that's cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Did a toy drive. So what I did was rented the venue for $250. Charged the artist $50 each to perform. Now that pays for the venue. Now what I did was $10 with a toy, $15 without. Cause I gotta make my money. You feel me? I gotta, I have an overhead. I'm, 15 with a toy. 10 with a toy, 15, But what was cool was the 15 without a toy, I would throw in 5. Fuck it, here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had people, the artists brought their fans who brought toys, and at the end of the night, it was a shitload of toys, and everybody, I got a DJ, good friend of mine. Again, I'm locked in Bakersfield, so, and then I had a MC who is on the radio station, Kev King. He's on the radio station, got him to host it because he's a friend of mine. You know what I mean? And, you just tell them what you're doing, and 9 times out of 10, they want to be a part of it. All I had to do was pay $250 for the venue. That was it. And I had about 6 artists.
What is there like a certain charity that you donated to?
Safe Haven. It was foster care.
Okay.
So, and that sucks. Like, I was looking through all this stuff, like, who should I donate to? So, you know what? No, let's do Safe Haven foster. Imagine not having a family during Christmas. Like, that sucks. And then you have these people that you can't get close to because you don't know what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. And I was like, fuck that. So, the toy drive's easy. You just find a place, and then contact the people you hate. So, I'm going to do a toy drive and I want to donate it to your charity. Then they'll come out, and they came out to mine, and they had a little setup, you know what I mean? And all toys went to them. And yeah, it's, it's helping your community out.
Now, is that something you thought about doing for the longest time, or was it not until you had your daughter?
Not until I had my kid, honestly. You know what I mean? Not until I had my kid. And there's a reason why I did the toy drive too. To let everybody know that I wasn't a dickhead and I'm not an asshole and that I'm not arrogant. Because I have that in my city. A lot of people think that I'm just this biggest dickhead. Again, it goes back to if you really know me, genuinely know me, you know who I am. And I'm not like that. But it showed, it showed that, I care about my community, which I do. There's a lot of things I want to do for my community. I want to do a Bakersfield music festival. We have an outside pavilion stage. It's like it could be like a Woodstock, but in Bakersfield. Have nothing but the best artists from each genre, and then have food vendors out there, have other vendors out there, have a little play for kids that they can go play while local artists perform. And at the end of the night, there's two big artists that are from Bakersfield, Korn and Zakari. So Saturday night Zakari headline and Sunday night Korn. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And have all the radio stations. This is all shit that I want to do for my city.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of people say, "Yeah, I'm the man in my city now. I run this shit." Okay, so what are you doing for your city, bro? You putting together a toy drive? You feeding the homeless? Mm-hmm. No, you just rapping, getting money, drug money, toting guns. Yeah, that's you run the city. Mm-hmm. Bro, you don't.
Yeah.
You got to help the community. What's the city doing for you? What's the city mean to you? Mm-hmm. The city means everything to me. Bakersfield means everything to me.
Were you born and raised Bakersfield?
Born and raised, bro. I'm from the field. I've been, I've seen, I've conquered, I've done. You can't tell me nothing, bro.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's cool, man. That's good to give back. That's good you have those aspirations. And is there anything down the line where this is going to be like an annual thing around Christmas time?
Yeah.
And is it always going to be Safe Haven, or you
Safe Haven?
You want to partner everything?
Yep, Safe
strictly?
Haven. Strictly Safe Haven.
That's cool.
That's it.
What about any other like charities? Anything else besides a toy drive?
Mm-hmm.
Just a toy drive. It called you.
I thought about backpack. A little backpack
Back to
thing,
school.
like I don't know. I'm still up in the air, but it's a little more work. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's what's up, man. I respect that. Like I said, I've always wanted to do something like that. I just there's things that I want to do. I just don't know how to get started on them. So for you to make it seem like it's so easy, now it feels more realistic. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll pick your brain more down the line. Because like I said, I still want to do shows. I still want to put on my own events and things like that. I want to get a bigger following, a bigger fan base. I grew up in the Inland Empire. I was born in LA, grew up in the Inland Empire for the last 13 years now. I've been out here in Orange County. 12, 13 years been in Orange County. So it's like I have, a little bit of reach everywhere, but like I still don't feel like I have like home base yet. So a lot of my music, like even though I've been out here and I lived before I moved out here, I was in Anaheim for 12 years. Not once did I ever like claim Anaheim's my town. Like never did nothing like that because like it never felt genuine.
Right.
I was born and raised in Montebello. I've never lived there other than when I was born. So it's kind of like I can't claim. I don't claim that. So a lot of my shit is just I got love for the whole coast. West Coast. Cause
sure.
The West Coast music kind of raised me in a sense.
Yeah.
Kind of raised me. So it's
our
like,
uncle was Snoop. Our other uncle's Cube.
Yeah, man. So it's like I want to eventually do some type of charity give back, or a foundation give back. Have artists come together, do a thing. But that's the thing. I don't know how it is where you're at, but out here, there's a lot of artists that say they'll put on and do that, but there's a lot of flakes.
Yep.
A lot of flakes, and it's like, for me, it's so hard to trust people, just because. How you mentioned earlier, like you've been scammed by artists. You've been, I can't say I've been scammed by artists, but I've definitely been let down by a lot of people. And every time I see them, it's always that same, we should do this and that. It's like, I've tried so many times with you guys, and it's like, you don't want to put up, then shut up, But it's like, it's just hard to find like someone who's dedicated to the craft. Like I feel like I am.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of artists that say they do this, but it's like, when I see you ain't doing it. When we talk, you ain't doing it.
Yeah.
But when you see me pop with something, all of a sudden you're doing it again. It's
right.
Like,
it's just jealous.
Yeah, jealous, or they want to try to get whatever momentum
One
you
up
have.
on you.
Well, no, like
because when I did the toy drive, nobody did a toy drive. Into all of a sudden, the ops that fuck with that one show, all of a sudden had a toy drive. Once they heard that I was doing a toy drive. Then it was like, we're gonna do a toy drive too, and they talk shit about my toy drive and tell why would he have it at a bar? Why would he have it at a bar? Where you can't bring kids there. It's like you're gonna talk shit about a toy drive when it's it's stupid.
It's like I'm not giving it to the kids at the bar.
Yeah,
they're taking it.
Right.
The bars are where the venue's at. What the fuck you expect to happen?
Right.
No, I get that. I get that. I respect that. Like I said, for me, it's out here. There's just so many. I mean, you know how it is. LA people, like the Hollywood scene. There's so many fake celebrities and shit. Everybody thinks they're like an influencer out here. It's like it's just, my circle's small, so it's like I get with the right few, but it's like because they're so like rare in their own space too. It's like they're just as busy as I am. So for us to collab on something, it's hard. For sure, we gotta have you back on for a part 2. There's so much more we gotta talk about. There's so much like I want to dive into your other albums and things like that. Like even like simple shit. Like how do you get your artwork? How do you create your artwork? What do you know? There's a lot I still want to dive in. So for sure, this was a great introduction to who you are.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm blessed that you give me your time. Tell your wife, I appreciate her and I respect you guys so much. Before we get you out of here, do you want to shout out any Instagram handles?
My Instagram
music,
is
anything.
My Instagram is B3AST661. Y'all go follow that. YouTube me. Right now, I'm dealing with a situation with all my music on Spotify and Apple Music and all the streaming websites. So I'm dealing with a situation, but it'll be fixed soon. But you can listen to all my music. All my albums are actually on YouTube right now. Subscribe B3 or Brandon Benavides. B as in boy. RANDON Benavides. BENAVIDES. Just search Mark of the Beast B3 and my album will pop up. Search Field Dreams, my album will pop up. And yeah, no, I had fun. This was fun. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I gotta leave so quickly, but
life is life, bro.
For sure,
life
bro.
is life. Again, please follow on Instagram. Please follow when you get to his YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, notifications, DM him, whatever it is.
Everything.
Let's keep this going. Let's keep the momentum going. Push that album. Show that love. Show the respect. Next toy drives, tap in, everything. We got to continue to support each other and
I'll be
as a
back.
community.
We'll finish. I'll be back.
Yeah, definitely part 2 is gonna be coming. But my brother, I appreciate you for coming in. It's been an honor and a blessing to get to know you and do this with you. It means everything to me.
Facts. Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Of course, man. So everybody that's watching and tuning in, this has been another episode of In House Convos. I'm your boy, your host, Marc, the motherfucking franchise. This is the living legend of the field.
B motherfucking 3.
The biggest beast you've seen thus far. B3 in the house. But ladies and gentlemen, that's our time, and we are out.